All right, all right, fine. I'll be a gracious host. How you doing?
Little Mermaid's the scariest Disney movie by far, though.
Why the hell is Ace Blade in your Kickstarter?
Some comics. I'm getting controversial today. We're gonna get controversial today with
my proudest moment is this interview and being able to talk to you two.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Tours Comics in collaboration with Fourth Wall Productions respectfully brings to you the 117th episode of the Four Tales podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Silva from Tours Comics. Across that way is the great poet of Ace Blade, Danny J. Quick, and together we are your two award-winning blurred comic creators here to help you find your next favorite comic. We are live on the Ages of Geekdom Network by Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. So if you're listening or watching us live, thank you for your support. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review this podcast because all your positive reviews and interactions help us reach a bigger audience. Danny, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm not sure. Well, no, it's a little early for you to be eating, actually.
No, it's dinner right now.
It's dinner time now? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, 8:30. That's right.
The other subtract 3 from the hours.
Right. And that's right. Normally on Tuesdays, Top 5 Live will be starting right now. So this is the time you should be eating. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Exactly.
You're on schedule. Well, it's good to see you this late in the evening. We had to change the time of the show because some things are happening tomorrow. My oldest daughter is graduating from high school.
Congratulations to her.
I'll tell her you said that. And I wasn't gonna be on doing the podcast during the graduation. So
I don't know why you couldn't. You could just be up there asking questions, and then when she starts to go across the stage, be like, hold up 1 second. Woo! Oh, wait, hold up 1 second.
There you go.
and then you come back to us.
As she's going across the stage. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't know how the internet would be out in the Coliseum, so I didn't want to, chance it.
Wait, so the Coliseum? Where's she graduating at?
Yeah, they got the Greensboro Coliseum out here. It's not like a huge. It's like the G League arena football team out here plays there, and it's a pretty cool spot. So going out there. So shout out to my daughter Kendra, who's graduating high school, and we're leaving for a little vacation after that. So definitely wanted to talk to our guests today about their recently funded Kickstarter.
Wait. When are you leaving?
Sunday morning.
When you coming back?
The next Sunday morning.
So you're not gonna be here next weekend?
No, I told you that.
I didn't know this. I did not know that, honestly.
We don't have I thought we talked about that. We don't have a guest for next week, right?
We have a guest next week.
Who?
Pat Shand.
Yeah, we. I quit. I quit. I'm done doing podcasts altogether. I quit Four Tales. I quit Top 5 Live. I'm done altogether with podcasts. I can't keep my schedule straight. Is that a mix of hooray and boo? That's good.
I don't know what that was, honestly. It says booing on the machine. I thought it was a boo. I don't know.
It sounded like a mix. It sounded like listen. Terrible. These sound effects, bro.
All right.
But we're gonna have to find somebody to sub in. We're gonna find somebody to sub in for next week for sure.
Okay. All right. I'll ask Morgan. Morgan's always good to bring on.
Yeah,
if his internet's working.
If his internet's working and he doesn't have to change diapers. But anyway,
let's get back to the show. Let's bring in our guests. You know them. Why don't you introduce the two of them, since you're like best friends with both of them?
Absolutely. So ladies and gentlemen, bring to the stage the young legend in the art game out in Charlotte and North Carolina and all over the East Coast, Wolly McNair, and prolific writer and creator and longtime military friend of mine, David Rucker. in the building. Thank you for joining us.
This is the greatest moment, spending time with you two nice people.
Nice people.
Thank you for doing that and not pulling a Danny. So thank you.
No, thank you so much for coming on. And changing the time up.
This is Wally's third time being on with us, right?
Yeah, Wally's been on several times.
So.
Okay. This is David Rucker's first time. On
we don't really need to talk to Wolly. We can just talk to David.
Yeah. So David,
you know,
tell our audience who you are.
I'm gonna get something to eat. I'll be back.
They're both here to talk about the recently funded. Congratulations on funding the Kickstarter for Elton Broken City, and saw that we announced some stretch goals earlier today, and I saw the graphic that Wolly put up. So first of all, David, Wolly, just give us a quick intro as to who you are in the project, and why you're here today.
I'll let Wolly go first.
I'm always allowed to do things. I appreciate people. Well, first and foremost, David, I thank you for letting your assistant, Danny J. Quick, who is also the CEO of Bequest Studios, help me so much throughout this campaign, because it was very good to have him there as a right hand. I don't know how much you pay him, but you should give him a raise.
Y'all getting paid?
You guys are getting paid? What? Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry. So he wasn't paid. My fault.
Yeah, he was. You said something.
Just keep not paying him. He's going to Bermuda. What's he going to do? He might get lost in the triangle. It's cool.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Y'all know how superstitious. Don't say that.
Nah, I'm Wolly McNair, father, husband, illustrator, creator, co-writer, co-creator of Elton, and several other cool projects. King Supreme, co-owner, co-creator. Well, co-owner because Danny technically created it, so I just came in and helped enhance King Supreme, which will hopefully be in your hands end of this year. But enough about that. David Rucker.
I'm Dave Rucker. I am the co-creator of Elton with Wolly. I'm also the creator of Decimation Earth and several other projects that are still yet to be released. And that's about it.
Okay.
So and I'm a real one.
All right, real one. How did y'all get together to create Elton? Like, how did this start off?
I'm gonna let David answer that.
Is he the real one?
You know what? I can answer this question. We're not gonna ask the basic question because we've done this so many times. I already heard the questions and the answers. So they have a difference of opinion on how it formed. David was coming into the comic book industry, and Wolly was like, right around with me some. We're gonna go to some of these shows, and you can decide if you want to do it. Then he was taking him around the city, and David was asking him questions about where he grew up, and he decided. And one of them had the idea. Neither one of them know if it was Wolly or David, and they had the idea of this story about Elton. And that's how it started. We're not going to ask all the standard questions because I've already heard all the answers. And it's not my fault, Kyron, that you weren't on the whole press tour for the first eight interviews. The first 8 interviews.
That's crazy.
Skip all that and ask them other stuff.
I thought this was my show too.
It was your show. It is your show.
That's crazy.
We go since I quit after the day. We gonna do some different things.
Should I do this?
it switched it around. Terrible. Crazy. No, man. It's we definitely have had fun with this press tour. I was talking to Wolly and the other guys. Like, I'm learning a lot from the Will Smith School of Marketing. I don't know if y'all seen all the press that he's been doing for Bad Boys, but the more you talk about it, the more places you are. Of course, it's great. So, and you gotta
because Will, the only one that's ever put that out there. Like, Wolly definitely didn't say that 300,000 times through every campaign that we've ever done. But I appreciate Will, man, for dropping that light on.
I don't even want to take pictures, so I know Wolly ain't talking.
That is true. I asked Wolly for a headshot for
Yeah,
marketing, and all I got was Elton photo. So
yeah, that's what's important to me. But nah, listen, there's a difference. I can understand marketing without me having to personally engage in every aspect of it. But I've definitely stressed before that marketing is key to anything success.
There you go.
You
There
know?
you go. Got
Yeah,
the
that's
toasty.
crazy, and that's exactly why I don't take pictures
Got
because
toasty.
you never know in this world where they're gonna end up at and what's gonna be done with them. And you know, I can't be held accountable for the people that pop up in time zones that I'm not in.
We're gonna have to use that. We're gonna have to use that for like the just like a little Easter egg in future shows. Like Wally just pops up in the corner like the toasty.
Hey, you know, I'm at peace. I had a reflection this morning. I said, you know what? At this point in life, I'm not responsible for people that get on ships and follow people to Bermuda for doing crazy things like using my pictures without my consent in different ways. I have like you can't trace that back to me because I'll be in Charlotte at home and I didn't buy a ticket, nor did I secretly board a ship or send people to board a ship. You know, so I just, you know,
something sounded threatening about that. Something just sounded so peaceful and threatening at the same time.
yeah, it's love, man. Like I'm zen. I'm gravitating just above the ground, and my legs crisscross pause, and I'm just, you know what I'm saying. But I understand that there's other people that may make other choices, and
so what you're telling me is I need to look for a new co-host permanently, and not just for next week. Possibly.
well, I just put it like, you know,
Possibly.
I really love Danny. He's my brother. T is my sister. The kids are very important. Shouts to Stephanie. Shouts to Kendra. Kendra, props for graduating. Shouts to Olivia. Shouts to DJ. And I know DJ will avenge if anything happens to Danny. But I heard that they can get back to you if you fall off the boat in about a day, sometimes a little quicker. But I know Danny won't be drunk and he can swim. So I'm just saying.
No, I can't. I'm not that good.
Morgan,
So
Morgan might fit the bill.
Disappear in the Bermuda Triangle. It was not accident, basically. So
what?
So I want to ask y'all.
You want to ask me a question I don't know anything about because my questions aren't good enough, apparently. So
no, your questions are great. We're gonna get to your questions.
Whatever.
It's crazy, Kyron. He just won't let you even have a question. But go ahead, Dan.
We 4 minutes into the show. Kyrie's gonna get a chance to ask a question. I want to know what since we've been talking about how tough it is to fund Kickstarters, right? How tough it is online. And with this story of Elton being so personal and being so real to you, I want to know what would success look like. I know just funding the Kickstarter is not necessary. Why are you picking on my mannerisms? That's not nice. I know just funding the Kickstarter is not the end all be all for y'all, for us in this project. So what does success look like in this project, Elton, and is this Kickstarter just the beginning of that?
I'm gonna let myself answer. Nah, seriously, man, I'm trying to laugh more, man, because I feel like when me and David was on the press run before, because there's a lot of seriousness to the story and things of that nature, we didn't laugh as much, and I want to laugh more. You know what I mean? At this point in life, especially, I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody, so let's have fun. But success is tiered, right? So of course there's the financial success because there was a lot of money, a lot of sweat equity that went into just getting this first book done. And we haven't covered the cost of any of that by hitting this goal. This goal just helps us to cushion printing books and fulfilling, rewards and all that good stuff. Because I spent a lot of sleepless nights just trying to do, and Danny, you know this for sure, like graphics and things of that nature that you kind of underestimate how long you have to put into some of that stuff at times, but you get it done. But the biggest thing, man, one of the biggest things, and this is for me personally, it may be a little different for David, it's just one, seeing people come together to support it. I don't care if it was 5 people or 300,000 people, they all matter because they were willing to pledge, spread the word, to see so many people sharing. I mean, some people who have never shared anything that any of us have done before, popping up and sharing things. And then to get people in my inbox just saying that seeing us do this is inspirational and motivates them to do other things or to try to put something together or to try to make moves or to fulfill some dream or whatever. Like there's a lot of beauty in that. And then just the fact that we at least accomplished getting the first book done. That's always a huge step for any project, you know, and of course the campaign is still going, but just saying before the campaign, even the fact that me and David were able to get to this point to even launch a campaign and know that we had accomplished this is super, super important, you know.
Absolutely. What about you, David?
I couldn't agree more with Wally. I think for me, getting to this point is amazing that we've got funded. But success to me is everybody reading our story and finding something in it that resonates inside of them. I think also with that success, it's about us seeing this come to fruition to a point where we see people reading it, we see people seeing it in different mediums, and they are drawn to it, they understand it, they can say that this is a story that really truly lets them see the world in a certain light, that they may have experienced certain things in their life. And I think that's what a success is. I think success to me is being able to tell a story that you want to read and you would like. You know, they always say don't write for your audience, write for yourself. And I think working with Wally on this and getting to be part of him sharing this story has been an amazing journey. And I'm very thankful for that opportunity. I mean, to sit there with him and see this get funded and see the responses and comments and people, excuse me, and then talking to Wally and hearing from him how people have reached out to him and talked to him about it, and then even his family members and people from Lumberton, North Carolina, where our story is basically set, where he grew up, and the excitement of them seeing this story being told with the background of Lumberton being the set of our story, I think that's an amazing success in itself.
And let me add to that. I think it was this project, I think, connected the Bequest crew on a different scale with the way that we all took different avenues of how to try to get something out that we'll just be able to take and hopefully advance with the next project and the next project and so on and so forth that's happening as far as just that community aspect, because it took every bit of all of that for it to even get to this point, you know. Yeah, so
Yeah, I ain't gonna say who, but somebody was ready to give up like 3 hours into the project. It was like, oh man, this ain't. We should.
that's what Morgan was feeling.
Why you gotta throw me out like that, man? Why
I
you
don't
gotta
know
throw me
who.
out?
Kyra,
I don't know who it was, but somebody was like, it's a dub.
I know you're not talking about David, and you can't be talking about me, because if I ain't never gave up. Even when it didn't happen, I ain't give up. I just like to talk in reality. I just talk in reality. Like I prep for the win, lose, or draw. You feel me? Like
Absolutely.
you know, that's the way my life is set up. You know, some Negroes don't know how to look at the full scope and say, well, let's plan for the possibility of. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just like Kyron, he's already thinking of who could fill this spot if Danny gets in the triangle.
But disappear in the triangle.
Oh, that's not gonna happen, but just in case.
Kyron got backup plans on back. He got all kinds of contingencies. He's like Batman, so
I'm Batman.
I'm sure.
Batman like that.
I believe.
Sure.
All right. So now I don't even know what to ask because I'm scared that Danny's gonna be like, "No, I've heard that question."
No, if you ask something that I know the answer to, I'm just gonna answer it because they be taking their time answering the questions. We only got 50 minutes. We got to get it done.
Let's talk about the book because yes, you funded the goal. Outside of finances, though, what's the hardest thing about this book that you guys have run across?
I'll let David answer that.
Thank you, Wally, for allowing Dave to answer these questions.
I really appreciate I think the hardest thing for me was conceptually putting the story together. I think, there was a lot of times Wally and I would go back and forth, and I would take notes and frame out what we thought the story would be like. But the hard part was getting the story in such a way that it made sense to the reader and actually flowed. I mean, we're talking about a story in a city that's Elton, that's based at which is Lumberton, North Carolina, but also creating characters that were realistic, but yet still had that quality of being a type of character that you had to suspend reality on certain things that he was able to do. And I think that was the hard part for me, was trying to create a cohesive story that made sense. And I can tell you, Wally is an amazing partner to work with, but he's also someone who holds you accountable to how things should be as we told this story. And I think that was the hard part for me, because this is a different type of story that I've written and worked on from what I usually do. So it stretched me, and there was a lot of times Wally had to have me pull back because I was getting too technical on things, being too rigid on how the story would flow. I'm sure Wally would agree with that. Wally, I'll kick it back over to you.
Yeah, what David said.
All right. Well, I see why I wasn't invited to do a cover, because you already have Thiago Silva doing it. So you can't have two Silvas doing covers for you. So I see why I wasn't invited to draw anything for you, Wally. So I understand.
Word. I that probably was because Danny didn't communicate with you. Because I think I was like, yo, Danny, you know anybody that could do a cover? And he was like, nope.
No, you definitely didn't ask me my opinion on any covers.
It's always Danny. It is always Danny.
I definitely didn't get consulted on any covers. I definitely, I would remember that.
Because you know it's crazy, Karen. We definitely got that very lovely Ace Blade versus Remnant piece. You know what I'm saying? He didn't wait for no permission. He just made that happen. You know what I mean? So I just want to put that out there, you know.
Yeah, but my budget is extremely limited. So you know, so I ain't got no excuse, but I just say, I was happy to do that.
Accountability. There we go.
I was happy to do that as just as a surprise to the campaign, just to try to be helpful. But nothing.
No, I appreciate it. I just want to be honest with Kyron. That's all. After some of the other bequest exploits, I just want honesty to always be out there.
Nothing I ever do is never appreciated. I just whatever.
Hey man, I said earlier, I thank David for allowing you to be the assistant, and I thank you for being the CEO of Bequest and allowing yourself to help. And hey man, I be
falsehood, but that's okay. No,
I be trying to be very thankful, man, because I appreciate everything.
You were saying earlier though. You were saying earlier that you're trying to laugh more, you're trying to smile no more. I don't know. You might have been joking about that, but I know for me myself, like this little vacation that we're going on is a like much needed. Like I've been really stressed out. Life gets crazy. We all got bills to pay. We got children to take care of. We got I know I don't want to put your business out there, David, but I know you had some medical issues recently. So we all got things that are kind of heavy on us. So what are some of the things that y'all do to kind of balance out? Like, do you, Wally? I know you do yoga, right?
No, I don't do yoga. My wife does.
Oh yeah, okay, that's right.
I just stand behind her and watch and make sure that
No, I don't know.
Nothing wrong with
I have
yoga.
no
though.
idea what. Watch what, Wally?
What you know what?
You know, nothing wrong with yoga though. I think it's probably a very peaceful element to add to your repertoire. But you know, I just try to take a little moment, give respect to the Most High, the universe, breathe, drink a smoothie, you know, some soursop tea. You know what I mean? Take a walk with my daughter. You know, punch my son, something like that. You know what I mean? Like just
Everything was so peaceful.
Wait,
Everything was so peaceful until
my
that
bad.
last.
you can't say that. That's when Child Protective Services comes out. You
My
can't say
bad.
that last part.
My bad. He good. He good. Are you good, right? Yeah. See?
Terrible.
He responded. Nah, I mean, you know, all that, man. Just video games. I play GTA when I want to destroy something without destroying something. I play Tetris when I want my mind to just work and be free in a different way. And just try to be more appreciative of what I have, regardless of what I don't have. That part.
Absolutely. What about you, David? What do you do to keep that work-life balance going?
Well, I try. I've been trying. I try to spend time with my boys as much as possible. Got twin, boys who have totally different paths of what they want to do. Trying to spend more time with my wife, and then at the same time, I try to take moments in the day where I shut down all media, phone, TV, music, and just sit and just try to just take in visually what's in front of me, noticing, things that, allows you to let your mind be calm, just sometimes maybe sitting in a chair, looking out the window at a tree and watching how the sun hits the leaves and the lights reflect, or even,
This man writing poetry to y'all.
How you do? That's how you do.
yeah,
I'm so relaxed right now. Just want to go sleep.
the other thing I would be doing would be working out, but as you alluded, Danny, due to my current medical condition, I can't do that anymore for at least another 3 or 4 months. So maybe occasionally I might hobble down the street with our pit bull Arnold as of late, and come back to the house and just chill. But I think for the most part, just trying to find some way of finding serenity and peace.
How hard is that working with Wally?
Wally is the most. Look, I don't care what anybody says about Wally.
They don't
Danny.
say much.
Yeah,
Danny does a lot.
Wally has been one of the best writing partners to work with, other than my other writing partner that I worked with on Decimation Earth and another partner on Grim Core Studios. But Wally has been one of the best partners that I've worked with on a project. He is
A real one.
Yeah, a real one, and honest, straightforward. If there's something he doesn't like, he's going to let you know.
Respectfully.
Respectfully, he'll send me a text and say, "Hey, fam, I got a bone to pick with you. I'll hit you up in minutes," and he'll gauge the temperature. He'll be like, "Nothing really bad, but I think we should talk about X."
Wow.
Danny, did you want to interject and add something to that?
Wally, I just want to just real quick. Wally's approach with David is just a little bit different than his approach with me. When we be talking about King Supreme stories, I will give ideas, and Wally not so. Wally just be like, "That shit whack," and I'd be like,
Hold up, man.
I'm like,
You talking
wow.
about years ago. You talking about years ago. Bro.
I was just trying to give an idea.
And I never said it like that. I'd be like, yo, that might be a little limited, Danny.
Let me go back through the emails. Those might not have been the words, but I felt the energy came from the message that, so, but over time, you grow and you evolve and you change.
Yeah,
so I guess that's good. I guess that's good.
You find more ways to be fake about how you feel.
There are times when Wally and I during this project and as we continue, because this is a 6-issue story arc. The first book that got funded of the story arc, Elton Unbroken City, is what kicked it off. But there's times as we frameworked out this city, Wolly has like, hold up a minute, man. Let's ruminate on this. Let's let this marinate, and then let's come back and talk about it. Or let me think about it, because there are times where I will get way too technical and way too rigid. And Wally's like, hey, we got to suspend some reality here. Or there are situations where I'll come to him with a certain scene, and Wolly and I will go back and forth about how the scene should flow. And that's because, some teams I come from it from, some of the action I come from a military standpoint. And so I see things from a military standpoint, so how our main character should move. Wolly comes from the environment of Elton and, dealing, stick up kids, dope boys, and the streets, and how people move in Lumberton in that area.
And comic books in Charlotte.
There you go. And so there's times we have to sit down and compromise and put together something that reflects both of us. I mean, I know there's times where I frustrate him, where we'll say something and framework something out, and I'll put it up on the share drive, and then a week later I've written 36 new pages, and Wally's like, whoa, hold up. we got to talk about this.
Let's delete some of them. Put them over here. Hey, but hold on. I'm gonna let you finish, David. Kyron, we need to do the.
Did you just Kanye him?
Well, I know we had talked earlier about the hot takes or something like that, and I just wanted to make sure that I allowed Danny to not say nothing while you took care of that, because he wouldn't let you talk earlier. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to make sure.
Well, it's time for hot takes. If you haven't watched the show before, hot takes is a rapid fire Q&A session.
You good, bro?
Where we grill our guests on their deepest, darkest internet secrets.
So we said 8:30. It's 8:34. I just think, you know what I'm saying?
I'm ready when you are, Kyron.
Let's roll with it.
Quick takes.
Oh, quick takes. That's right. It's quick takes.
Quick takes. There we go.
All right. So I got 5 questions for y'all. You get 45 seconds to answer. Either one of y'all can answer these questions. And the last question I want to hear from both of y'all for sure. So quick takes. Question number 1. David's favorite philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche, said life without music would be a mistake. So I want to know, if you two had to choose between a life without art or life without music, which one would you choose and why?
Go ahead, David. You got 45 seconds, yo.
I said I would choose a life without art because I enjoy music, all types of music, and I seem to find my creative ability through music.
I like it.
So David hates artists. That's the title of the show now. David hates artists.
David
That's
hates art.
crazy. Because you wouldn't have no comic book without the art. But they both art. So, I'm going to break the rules, and I ain't going to listen to what that man quote says. And I'm just going to have both.
They're both art, visual and auditory. I love it. That's a very Wolly answer. Wolly just be doing his own thing. All right. So question number 2 is a question I like to ask a lot of creators because I think it depends on, the things that you like and dislike creatively. So I want to know from both of you, what's the best part of creating and what is the worst part of creating when it comes to comics? Go.
We got the same 45 seconds. The best part of creating is creating the process, the ins and outs. The tough part, I wouldn't say the worst part, but just the tough part is the marketing and sometimes the finances to get it out there to the people.
And I would agree with that as well.
There we go. There we go. All right. Question number 3. This is something we talk about all the time, and I just want to know from your perspective. I know none of us have the answer, because if we did, we would be well on our way. Piggybacking off of your last answer, Wally. But beating the algorithm. If you had to give a 45-second answer on how to beat the algorithms, because we all know that the algorithms are really killing the game these days. So if you had to give a 45-second answer on how to beat the algorithm, what would you suggest to new creators?
I don't know the answer to beating the algorithm. I just know staying consistent and posting, sharing, building up community, and then working outside of social media, whether that be conventions, whether that be, like Ro likes to point out, an email list, like, because at the end of the day, we don't own these platforms. So figuring out how to reach your audience and build beyond social media, I think, is just a key component of what's got to be done, and having multiple sources of how to connect with people. You know, the algorithm is going to be what it's going to be, no matter how hard we work. So you got to work around, through, and over it.
Love it. All right. Question number 4. And Wally, I think I know your answer to this question, so I'm gonna ask this one to David. David, so in a hypothetical situation, for the rest of your life, you could only work in one of these 2 spaces: an indie space where you get to create your own work and you get to, make your own decisions, or the mainstream space in comics where you can make sure that you get paid on time and you know that your work is going to be seen by more people. I'll just say that you know that your work is going to get out to the mainstream audience. Which one would you pick to work in the rest of your life, and why?
I'm gonna pull a Wally. I'm gonna say both.
That's the whole meaning. Y'all Marines are so hard headed, bro. Just answer the question.
I'm a bad influence. You got 23 seconds, bro.
I'm gonna my answer.
You said both, and that's the final answer. Well, I know Wally. Is ownership is high on his list of motivations when it comes to creativity. So I would think that his answer would be indie, and to work until the indie is mainstream. But
Or I might just do both, like David. Why not?
might just do both like David. Sure.
Let's be. You could do both, where you could do indie and have ownership of your own properties and continue to create what you want, but at the same time have the ability to work in the mainstream and take what your creative process is and take, say, a Batman or a Wolverine, and have that freedom to use your creative process in developing those characters and taking them in a new and different direction. I think that would be fulfilling, at least for me. And I think as indie creators, I think we have that ability to continue to expand our world building, world creating ability, and thinking outside the box.
Absolutely.
How Morgan speaking French, yo? He ain't never took French outside of when he was in elementary school or something.
Shout out to Morgan Iverson. Bonjour, my brethren. Toasty. Shout out to Fee in the comments and Carrie also in the comments. Appreciate y'all tuning in. All right, so this last question, we always do a top 5 list as the last question, and I got a top 5 list that I need from both of you off the top of your head. Wally, I want to know your top 5 comic artists, and David, I want to know your top 5 comic writers of all time.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna just say Dylon. Nah, why I gotta be comic artists? First I'm gonna put Ernie Barnes out there because he's just one of my favorite. He was one of my favorite artists, period, that inspired me as a black man coming out of North Carolina. First time I had ever saw it. That's important. Then we'll say Todd McFarlane, Joe Madureira. Man, I guess I'll put Jim Lee in there out of respect for what he do. And then Kyron.
There you go. Kyron at 5. That's what I'm talking about, baby. There we
Do it
go.
like that.
All right, Dave. What about you? Top 5 comic writers.
Ooh. I'm gonna put Scott Snyder in there.
Okay.
Michael Bendis.
Brian Michael Bendis, a good one. That's a good one.
Larry Hama.
Oh, okay.
Out of respect for being a fellow veteran as myself and his continuing of staying on G.I. Joe for so long. So,
Yes, sir.
Larry Hama, what's his name for Invincible?
Robert
Kirkman.
Kirkman.
Robert Griffin.
Kirkman.
Yep.
Robert Kirkman. I got one more, right?
That's close enough. Yep. Yeah, one more.
Your time up, bro.
One more. You gotta fill out the 5.
Can't think of his name.
Just say Danny quick, yo.
Stanley.
I'm gonna go with
No Stanley.
Stephanie Williams.
Stephanie Williams. There we go.
Stephanie Williams.
Stephanie Williams. That's the young goat in the building. Shout out to Stephanie. Hey, we appreciate that, man. Appreciate y'all doing that quick takes with us. This week's quick takes is brought to you by Gemini Comic Williams. Right now, use the QR, use the check code. What is it? Ace Blade at checkout to get 10% off. Sponsorship.
And
Is that a real thing? Is that code real?
Yeah, it's real. 10% off on Gemini.
And Morgan don't know Spanish. Stop it.
Hola, ¿cómo estás and stuff?
I heard he don't even know sports like that, but I ain't even gonna
Damn.
I ain't even gonna get into that.
Don't
That ain't my business.
try to play my homie like that.
That ain't my business.
He ain't on here to defend himself. Don't be playing my homie like that.
That ain't my business.
All right,
So right now, Elton Broken City is at 60 backers. It is at $3,551 of its $3,500 goal. And we have 14 days to go. So, Wally, I know the next stretch goal. What was the next stretch goal? Let me see if I can pull up the graphic real
Bookmark.
quick. Double-sided bookmark. So definitely tap in with us and continue to share. We appreciate everybody's support so far. David and Wally, where can people keep up with your work? Where can people find you?
Morgan's internet is failing.
You spelled that wrong. I feel like he spelled that.
His Google search didn't spell it fast enough for him. He just tried
You gotta go to the library. Is that what he said? Let's go to the library.
Karen, do you have any questions before we leave the show, brother?
Nah, because Danny's just gonna cut me off anyway, so it's cool.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
What was your question, Danny?
Just where can people find you online? Where can people keep up with you?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna let David answer that first.
You can find me on IG at Decimation Earth IX.
Yeah, and you can find me at Wolly V, or WOLLYV. I believe what's her name? Fee.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I believe she can speak other languages, but Morgan, I don't believe it.
You don't even know Fee like that. Stop
It doesn't matter. Her credibility just stands way stronger.
Stop it.
I agree with
way
you on that
strong.
one. It is pretty funny.
Terrible.
All right, Danny.
Yeah, at
what
Wolly
you
V.
think about?
The link is in there. The quick joints was dope. Danny, I appreciate you.
No, we're calling it hot takes from now on.
Hot takes.
Hot take, yeah, that was dope. Appreciate y'all having us on the show. You know what I mean? We stand on business. You know, the book is up there. We're trying to get this other money. Kyron, let me know if you can't find a host. I'll help you search. I know Danny will be back, but just in case, because he quit every week anyway. So you feel me?
It's true.
And this is the greatest moment spending this time with you, nice gentlemen, on this show. My Eric Larson voice.
Terrible.
I don't even know how this show needs to end anymore. Danny, where can people find you online?
If you want to find me, the best place to go is my website, fourthwallpros.com. If you want to find me on social media, it's at the Ace Blade on all social media platforms. Kyron, where can people find you?
If you want to find me, the best place is at fourthwallpros.com or at tauruscomics.com because I'm at both places now. But you can also check me out on all social media at Taurus Comics. Join us next week, though. Not Friday, but next week, Saturday. Oh my God, the man.
I told you. She got it. She's speaking fluent. This other Negroid, this Neglamite.
Dang, Neglamite. I never even heard that before. What is it?
All right, we're going to end the show.
Yeah.
Join us next week. Without Danny, I'm going to have a different guest host, apparently, because Danny's going to possibly be lost. But we're going to have Pat Shand on there, and we're going to talk some comics. And everybody, if you're watching live, though, stay on your live stream wherever you're at to the Ages of Geekdom Network, because you're going to have the first ever 2-hour 5-Star Friday coming to you in 13 minutes. Oh, God, you know what? That's it. Sayonara, goodbye. You guys have a great day.
Yeah.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.